live.
Yep. Give very much.
What? Are we live?
No, not yet.
Oh. Did I?
Yeah.
Did you not tell them?
You're live.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today obviously we are having a panel full of powerful women. You know, the whole month of August we've celebrated women, and we thought how fitting to close off August and begin September with just having powerful women kind of discuss some of their journeys and how they've overcome. A lot of us are exhausted with COVID. It's been quite a challenging time emotionally. But yeah, here we are. On my far right is Nicolette.
Hi.
She needs no introduction, but I would like her to introduce a little bit of who she is. You know, besides, I've known her now for a while, I think 2 years. She's an entrepreneur, she is a media personality, she's an author. Am I leaving anything out?
Listen, you've said all the heads. I'll take it. Thank you.
And thank you for availing yourself. I know that you are hectically busy. Thank you for being here today.
No, always. Thank you.
And on my left is Leanne Dlamini, serial entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
I know, I love it.
She's an entertainer. We know you're also a mom, doing great things. Thank you for availing yourself today.
Thank you for having me, Santo. Thank you.
And then on my far left is Gloria. Gloria, thank you for having us. She's also an entrepreneur and an influencer. And ladies, let's dig in.
Awesome.
Okay, so I wanted to first find out, like, how did you find your purpose? A lot of women reach out to me personally, but this is not about me, where they say, how did you know this is what you wanted to do? I'd like to start with you, Nicolette. How did you find your purpose? Because I knew you to be a presenter, but you are killing it in the financial fitness arena. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
How did you know this is what I want to do? I want to educate people on financial education.
I didn't know. I think your purpose is a continually transforming thing, right? I don't think there's any one of us who will ultimately say this is my purpose, because a lot of things can really change in your life. But I think sometimes there is some higher power that lands you in the right space at the right time. And somehow you always figure out that this is something that is got a major pull towards my life and what it is that I want to do. So surprisingly, actually, I used to be a teacher at some point in my life. Both my parents were teachers. My father actually taught my mom mathematics. Explains why she can't do math. So my parents were both teachers. We've actually got quite a number of teachers in our family, and I ended up being a teacher. So I left Rhodes University. I went in the King's School West Rand, and I was a teacher there. And within a year, I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. I think little did I know that teaching is what I wanted to do, but it maybe was just the wrong target, which is maybe off again, because right now I am doing financial education for children, and let me be honest with you guys, I am enjoying them far better than the adults.
Right?
Children are absolutely amazing,
Yeah,
because they
they're
understand you, they hear you, they grasp many things, they don't have preconceived ideas of many things, right? So for me, I think my purpose is still yet being discovered and being revealed to me, but ultimately, and I always used to say, people development is one of my biggest passions. It's being able to see somebody transform from a space where they were not aware of what their potential is, and you just planting a couple of seeds into their life and really just changing their life, transforming it. Today I actually got a message from a young lady who said, my husband and I just bought our first property, and it's all because of you. And I was like, amazing. Oh gosh. So yeah, so look, I am excited about really getting my purpose being revealed to me. I think there's and I always say to people, I'm doing this now. 2 years from now, I could be somewhere else doing something else. And I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love that. You didn't have a full idea of where you needed to go, but you had some inspiration.
Yeah. Ma'am, I don't have a full idea of what tomorrow looks like.
Right?
Yeah.
And you, Leanne?
I think for me, figuring out and finding my purpose, I really believe that purpose is your calling, and it's usually things that you're drawn to, things that attract you, and sometimes it could even be something that annoys you.
Yes.
And I like using the example of, as a singer, if you're watching a choir and you can hear that the altos are singing off key, and every Sunday you come to church and you hear the altos are singing off key, and no one's doing anything about it, don't be the person that says, why isn't someone doing something about it? You need to be the person to do something about it. And that's really, for me, how figuring out your purpose comes about. And that's what happened for me. I've always been passionate about women and girls. I've always been passionate about music. And so for me, that was just instant light bulb moment. This is my purpose. This is what I need to do. And like Nicolette said, it's constantly evolving and changing. It could be this right now, but I think the foundation of who you are remains. So teaching will always be something for her, whether it's finances, whether it's something else with children, adults. I think the foundation of who we are is the things that we're drawn to in our calling.
Love that. You are much younger than the rest of us.
Baby, the baby.
I just want to find out from you, do you feel like you found your purpose? Where are you on that journey?
Where I am at this present moment, I think I have found my purpose. And as Nicoletta says, it evolves with time.
Yes.
My purpose right now is something that I enjoy the most, is being a mother. That's one of my callings, I always say. One of the stories that she just told right now, I can relate to. I was a teacher myself.
Wow.
I was a teacher for 2 years.
Wow.
And I enjoyed that journey, or that part of my life, but it wasn't what my purpose was.
Yeah.
And then I find myself in spaces where I'm able to communicate with people. I'm a good listener. So that's also one of my callings. I study psychology, went into teaching, but one of my callings is literally listening.
Wow.
Listening and advising others. That's one of my biggest callings.
Amazing. I like that. Not many of us are able to listen, so kudos to you. Now, Nicolette, did people ever doubt you?
Of course. Even now. Have you ever seen my social media? I'm asked on a daily basis, what did she study? When did she study this finance? And I'm like, I don't need to study it, I live it.
Yes.
All right, every single one of us uses money on a day to day. And if you're not going to get ahead of your money, it's going to get ahead of you. So doubt is definitely something that, I mean, even in my family is always asking, well, what do you actually do? You know? So I guess doubt is really just part of life. In fact, doubt, for me, it's almost similar to imposter syndrome. Doubt means you're doing something. Because I can't doubt you if you're sitting still doing nothing, right? I can't say, what are you doing? So, but once you do it, that's when we start doubting you and saying, because there always is going to be somebody who thinks they can do it better. There will always be somebody who believes that they should be where you are. And those people, in fact, and I'll see those people as cheerleaders. Yeah. Because it means that you are setting a standard for somebody else's life. Somebody is sitting there saying, I want to be like Sonto. I also want to have a hair care range like Sonto's. But you know what? Maybe she shouldn't have done that, that milk honey. That's what people do, right? So I think doubt will always be there. And I think for me, instead of really giving it a negative connotation, I've always seen doubt as a standard. So Simon Sinek speaks about finite and infinite gains, right? And he says you've got to decide which one it is. So he says, he has this example where he uses Microsoft and Apple, and he says you go to Microsoft, and all the managers at Microsoft, whenever they do a speak or spiel to their employees, they speak about how to become better than Apple. Whereas Apple, on the other side, their job literally is to become better than themselves. And that's all they care about. So you've got to decide in life whether you're going to listen to every single person and what everybody else is saying and soak in their doubt. Because you also have to ask, where does the doubt stem from? You know?
Yeah.
And often that starts to point you in different directions of where other people may be with themselves.
Absolutely.
But of course, let's be fair. I'm also not made out of stone.
Yeah.
There will be moments when someone is gonna throw something at me that knocks me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, do you know who I am? Listen, all right. Yeah, and then you've got to pick yourself up. And unfortunately, the picking yourself up often is done from an internal perspective.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Now I know it's very difficult to match your dream and action. How do you overcome that? You know, we all want to be Bill Gates of this world. You know, we all want to be whoever you aspire to. But you know, when I started right at the beginning, I had seen a quote. Somewhere on social media, I had seen a quote that says, "Can you believe that Beyonce has the same number of followers?"
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I'm like, actually,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
You know, she's achieved so much. What am I doing? And so, how do you kind of pull yourself? Because sometimes we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
How do you pull yourself out of the laziness or the unmotivated state of mind to get things done?
For me, I think it all starts in the mind. Once I have that switch that this is what I want to do, I need to achieve it despite my current reality or situations. You try to make it work. You pull yourself up because you know what the vision is, what the plan is for your life, and where you see yourself going. So despite all the haters and the
Yes.
doubters,
Yes.
it really is an internal journey too. Yeah, something that you do for yourself and with yourself. You clear your mind, you set your standard, and you just do it. And I think that's pretty much how I've done everything that I've achieved to this point. It's really been a mindset for me, because once I believe that I can achieve it, I go for it, and nothing can stop me. And it's about networking as well. I network, I try and build and form relationships with like-minded women.
Yes.
People who I see I can build these incredible
Yes.
relationships with. So I think that's for me how I pull myself out of that state of I can't move to get myself moving.
And yourself, Gloria, do you have, you know, people have different things, you know, rituals or whatever you want to call them, you know. Every morning I do this, or you do a vision board. What has been your, we just want to know what has been your journey and how you...
So I'm a firm believer in journaling.
Yes.
So I write down my thoughts,
Yeah,
I affirm myself,
yeah,
and to pull myself out of
yeah,
this hole that I could be in,
yeah.
I do a lot of praying as well. I center myself with a lot of praying, listen to a podcast. I'm big on Super Soul Conversations by Oprah Winfrey. Those center me, they relax me, they give me a clear mind or a clear state of mind of what I want to do or what I want to achieve. So centering myself or doing my own me time. I always say I have me time.
Yes.
This is something that my kids, my husband knows that when I say me time,
It's me time.
It's me time. So I do all the things that I love. A cup of tea, a good book, a bubble bath, a glass of wine, one of my things. But everyone knows when it's time for my me time, I set boundaries. My kids, my husband, they would know that they don't pass this stage of my life where I'm saying, it's about me. So I take my time.
Well, how long is that? An hour a day, 30 minutes, 15, 10? How long is it?
As long as it needs
As long
it.
as I need
Yes.
Some days it could be the whole day. I could literally shut down. I say to them, today is mommy's time.
Yeah.
So I shut down and say, this is me time. Let me focus on me. So I always say, I can't pour from an empty cup. So I need to always refuel. So my refueling moments are those little teacups that I have by myself.
Yes.
So those moments are very crucial to me.
And
Love
can I
that.
I add to that? I think it's so important that we take time out for ourselves as women. We're having meetings with everyone all the time. A full day, your diary will be jam-packed with meetings, virtual, Zoom, this, recording. And when do you have meetings with yourself? And the meetings that you have with yourself is actually the most important. Like that first meeting in your diary needs to be with you. where you center yourself, okay, what do I want to achieve today? How do I want to feel? Where do I see myself? Leanne, how are you feeling? Check in with yourself. It's so important that we do that. And I find that when we don't, we end up feeling overwhelmed and burnout takes over, and we were talking about it when the cameras weren't on. So
Yeah.
it's so important that we do that, ladies.
I'm actually with you there 100%. I try my very best every morning before other people's thoughts enter my space, to just the stillness and to think, okay, what is it that I want to achieve today? How do I feel? What happened yesterday? How do I fix? How it is important. I like that you called it a meeting with yourself.
Yes, yeah.
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 Some of us call it meditation, but it's exactly the same thing.
Absolutely.
Now, being women, you know, we've got all these responsibilities. Yes, men do too. But the reality is, you know, we're still trying to achieve dreams while we either have families, or trying to fall pregnant, or trying to have family. Can we have it all?
Yes, absolutely.
I think
Can you?
you have to have a certain level of insanity to be able to have it all, right? And you've got to be stubborn in it. And everybody around you needs to understand that there are certain things that are non-negotiable. Now, a good quality life for me is non-negotiable, right? I don't want to check prices of things. There are certain things I don't want to have to do, and I want to stress about those kind of things, right? So my work ethic matches what I
love that.
demand from
I
life,
love that.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important, and I think it's really a lesson we need to teach young girls.
Yes.
You know, the other day, in fact yesterday, and I was very upset. So I see on social media some girl with some car, and I'm like, I'm so stressed because what did she do? Because I've never seen her work, right? Now somebody will look at it and say, but you're hating. But the reality is, we need to educate women that to be able to access certain things, you've got to put in the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And I don't take away the fact that you've got a partner that is able to assist you. That is actually privilege on its own, right? But it is that from the onset, what we should not be teaching women is to go and find a husband to be able to give me all of that.
Or
Yeah.
a sugar daddy.
Or a sugar daddy. I must know from the onset that I can get it. I don't have to be the only one who works towards getting
Yeah.
it, but I should know. You can't be the type of person that says, I'll never go to the Maldives on my own. I need to date my mom to be able to go to the Maldives.
Yeah.
The Maldives must be something that is accessible to you
Absolutely.
first, you know. So I think you've got to have that insanity to believe that I sit here and I'm like, I'm going to have a private jet.
Yes, girl.
Don't ask me how.
Yeah.
The how is not important.
It's gonna happen.
But I know that it
Yes.
looks good on me.
Yes.
So therefore, I will work for it.
Yes.
And I think that's really important. I think it's, you know, the beauty about life is that you will actually never be satisfied with
Yeah.
what you have, right?
Yeah.
How many of us today, sitting where we are today, if we were to look 5 years from today, you are in a different phase altogether. You are praying to sit here today,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to also keep reminding ourselves of the work that we are doing, the progress we are making, and it's a continuous process. You've got to stay in the process. You've got to be alive in the process. The process doesn't stop. It keeps going. And on those days when you need to take time, that's part of the process. You know. So I think that's one thing that we all have to believe. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you're sitting right now. I need every single young woman, old woman, even old woman, because I look at my mom. My mom has been married for 32 years. And unfortunately or fortunately for her, the marriage is great and not great at the same time, right?
That's right.
Yes. So I look at her and I say to her every day, I'm like, you can do whatever you want. And you are lucky because you educated children that can now assist you. I will help you get where you want. Mom is fine. I said, let's start YouTube videos. Let's start TikTok videos. This is your time to shine. I don't care that you're 50 something. Let's do it. You can get the life that you want. How many Viola Davis? When did she become?
Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
in her old age.
Yeah.
In her old
I
age.
think it's also important to teach financial literacy,
Absolutely.
especially with the black community,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
especially with black women as well.
Yeah.
You know, if we're to emphasize financial literacy, where people know how to use their money. Black women know how to use their money. It will be such, I don't know, like mind-boggling thing that
They don't want to teach black women money. They don't want us to know, because the moment they teach you money, Gloria, you're financially independent.
Absolutely.
Therefore,
Absolutely.
that's the problem.
But that's why we take back that space.
Absolutely.
We go in and
Yeah.
absolutely,
We
we
need to
change
change
the
the
narrative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that even with LDH and End Girl Hate, with what I do, the
Yes.
organizations, I've now started. So LDH is for more of the older women, and End Girl Hate's for the girls. And so what I've done with
Sorry to cut you off. What does LDH stand for?
LDH is life designed by her.
Absolutely.
So this is how the woman
love
comes and takes back her life and designs it and creates this life. And I saw too many of my friends and people in my circle, women around me, who were having financial issues.
Yeah.
The boyfriend leaves, and now what? You have nothing. The husband dies, you don't even know how to access his bank account. And that's when I decided with LDH, I've started doing financial workshops. So I have a financial planner coming. I've even created a financial planner with you planning out your budget, going through everything, things that needs to be paid for, because we need to take back our power when it comes to our finances. I see too many women suffer in marriages, in relationships, and when the partner or the husband dies or walks away, they have nothing. We really need to take our power
You
back.
just pointed out something very important. It's something that me and my husband usually speak about. Dying. And he
I
said to me,
hate that topic.
yeah, he said to me, what will happen to our businesses if I were to die?
Yeah.
And this had to push me out of my comfort zone
Absolutely.
and step up.
Yeah.
I had to go in with every little detail of our finances,
Yeah.
how our business run, everything,
Yeah.
the functionality of
Yeah.
our household, the functionality of our businesses. I needed to know each and every little detail because look at us, we're
Absolutely.
living through
Yeah.
a pandemic and things are not guaranteed. Life is not
Absolutely.
guaranteed at all. So what do? Now I've started pushing myself, saying to myself, you need to learn,
Yeah.
unlearn,
Yeah.
relearn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
I've pushed myself, and one thing that he does is he supports me through every little
That's
thing.
amazing.
And he says, at the end of the day, this is a partnership. So we're building an empire together. So if we're building together, you need to know every wondering that
Yeah.
goes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, you're fortunate. I'm also one of those who is very fortunate in that I have a very supportive husband who takes care of business. But the reality is, most people out there, they're not in that situation. So I love that you've created a space for women to be able to learn those types of skills, because they are so necessary.
Absolutely.
How did End Girl Hate come about?
Wow. End Girl Hate really was just formed on social media.
Yeah.
And I think it really started when I had my first daughter.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, Leanne, you are now raising a girl. And I looked at my relationships that I had with women and how I wanted her experience to be. And I really wanted to change her narrative, change the mindset that we don't all have to be best friends,
Yes.
but show another girl kindness, be
Yes.
compassionate, show another woman support. Don't close the door behind her, hold it open for her so that she can walk in with you. And that really was my driving force. And I hated being in the entertainment industry and maybe walking into an event and you can already feel that everyone's looking at you from the head to toe. Is that real hair? Is it fake?
Yes.
Where are her shoes from? What is she wearing? What handbag is she carrying? And I really wanted to break that down in the simplest form, and it really just started with quotes on social media, and the hashtag was End Girl Hate. Women started reposting and they said, how can we make this tangible? Because it's a movement that we need to talk about and get the message out there that women can support women and we don't need to tear each other down. And it's really just taken a life of its own. We now have End Girl Hate Botswana too, which is doing extremely well. It's been a really, really beautiful journey.
Touching on that, that's her experience. What has been your experience in terms of women's support?
I don't know if maybe I'm just too arrogant to not notice. Mina nginandaba, guys.
Secure in yourself.
Listen,
That's a beautiful thing.
your
And that's where
eyes,
we need to
Shem.
get to.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, Mina, I listen, Lian. And unfortunately, and it's funny because actually I get hate from men more than women.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why? Do you think because of financial space?
yes, because they think it's their space.
Yeah.
So what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Who are you?
Yeah. Look.
I think when a woman penetrates in their world,
Yes, she yes.
Yeah.
So no, I think women have. There may be girls who may find me annoying, and that's okay because I'm not money, right? Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone. You also you should be worried when everyone likes you, right?
Yeah,
Honestly speaking. So I think for me, I've never really experienced that one-on-one and also. If I hear that you said this about me, come tell me to myself, and let's figure out how it impacts your life. To be quite honest, because really my existence should not be impacting how you feel about certain things, right?
Yeah.
It's either I'm there and I can support you and I can clarify certain things, or you just pretend I don't exist. As Leanne said, show me kindness, and sometimes kindness is really pretending people don't exist.
Yeah.
I promise you. You know, so
Yeah.
so I've never really experienced a girl hate. But I do know that I've seen many people in my life who have experienced it, who have gone through it. And one thing I always say is kindness. You know, don't be kind because somebody's smiling at you. Don't be kind because somebody's sad. So be kind because that's who you are.
That's who you are. That's your
Yes,
character.
Absolutely.
And you know the cliche saying hurt people hurt other people is very true. And I always say to people, one of the things that my Clementine is my friend, she's actually my psychologist also. I know, very weird, but it works for us, right? And Clementine said one thing that Clementine gave me as a gift. She said you need to be aware of yourself. You need to know your flaws. You need to know your shortcomings as a person, because once you know those things, you're not going to project them to somebody else. You're not going to condemn someone else. And by the way, I'm a Virgo, so I'm already hypocritical by nature, right? We just look at people and we're like, I know you can do better than this. Why are you not giving me the best of you, right? And mind you, we're also exactly the same on ourselves. So I will watch this later on, and I will be upset because there will be moments and it's like, what were you saying? What was that now? You know?
Always.
So I think kindness. I think being kind to ourselves, being kind to others, being kind all the time because it's who you are.
Absolutely.
Putting on a show, it's who you are.
Absolutely.
Gloria?
As she said a mouthful already. And I always say, with the hate, I do receive hate, trust me, and it's also from women. I post my kids or my husband, and someone's gonna say, "Oh, my approach." You understand? Someone might be like, "Oh, it doesn't seem real. It's so fake.
Wow.
They're overdoing it." But that's my life, and I always say, if you're projecting your life on me, it's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
True.
And I always say, don't take me out of character.
Yeah.
If I'm a kind person, whatever you do will never take me out of character.
Absolutely.
That's who I am. And instead of like really focusing on the hate or what's happening around me, block, mental block, all the time. Just cover it. I don't see it. I don't want to hear it.
And I think we really need to get to a place where we are aware that what people are putting out there and putting on us is never really about us.
It's about them.
It really is just they're projecting what's happening within them, what they're dealing with.
Struggle.
Absolutely.
They all struggle.
Absolutely. It has nothing to do with you. And when I got to that place, I was actually like, okay, I'll give you grace because you're actually not okay.
Yeah. You need it.
Yeah.
And I think there's one thing that Clementine also pointed out, from which I was never really aware of. She says, some of the reasons, as Gloria was speaking about, the blocking, and it takes strength.
It does.
To be able to block such kind of things, right?
It does.
But it also takes certain trauma sometimes for you to get there. And for me, it was that. It was a trauma that I went through, and after that, I was like, do you know how much work I've done? To be bothered by what you are saying.
Yeah.
So I actually, maybe there is hate. Maybe I just don't see it because I refuse to have a lens that sees it. Yes. I'm just like, do you know how hard? Guys, first and foremost, just talking in front of people is hard. Eh?
Already.
Okay, this is my first. This is my first. Dude,
I'm saying to you guys,
I'm thinking, like, mumble.
you say the right thing.
It
So
is.
just getting that
getting the
courage.
courage to sit
Putting
here
yourself
today.
out there, yeah.
Listen, I wish all women would be. You know, my friend Richmond always says, what is the one thing that you can speak about for 30 minutes without preparing for it?
Yeah.
And I wish all women could find that one thing.
Wow.
All of you go and put a
Practice,
camera
yeah.
in front of you and speak about it
Yeah.
and share it. Because whatever you know, even if it's not the full 30 minutes that's going to
Yeah.
teach you, it's something you're going to say.
Yeah.
that's going to teach you.
Yeah.
I wish,
Yeah.
let's focus on that.
Yeah.
Focus on your money. Focus
Yeah.
on what you want to achieve in life and quit looking at other people. Look at them when you need assistance. Look at them when you need motivation. Look at them when you need inspiration.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Not
here I am sitting and looking at the air and I'm like, oh, this is what I don't know. The reality is, how do you get that figure? How do you get your eyebrows to look like that? Do you ask? Stop this thing to you just look at the woman and you just,
Absolutely.
oh, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so the theme for today is women can. So, and I kind of threw that in towards the end. But we do this every year and we say women can. So what do you think contributed to you becoming who you are and being a woman that has been able to fulfill some of your plans, dreams, visions?
Having women that are like-minded around you. Like-minded could
Yeah.
be my mom.
Yeah.
My mom is like-minded because she pushes herself. She was a single mother and she made sure there was food on the table. And this is one of the things that black women don't talk about, is finances, right?
Yeah.
But there was always something done. Like I wanted to go on a school trip, she was able to do it. But there was never, I didn't have that $5 to give you to go on a school trip, right? So having women that are like-minded, like you, and sitting and having conversations, the uncomfortable conversations, talking to each other, saying to each other, how do we build each other? How do we get to this point? Because at the end of the day, this fight is not between us. The fight is to fight the patriarchy society, where the man is here. Now we also want to penetrate this world where we are able and capable. We are more than capable. So now the fight is us. Let's build a sisterhood so that we can push ourselves to the best of our ability.
Love that.
Can I jump in there?
Yeah.
You know what's the most terrible thing? It's the fact that it's women that are upholding patriarchy.
Yeah.
The majority of the time. Today there was an article about what's the Manto? Her name is Manto. I know her Lumka from Generations. Her name is actually Manto, right? Manto has just gotten her master's in film and whatever. The article reads, Manto has leveled up to her fiancé or husband.
Wow.
What is
Dr. Mbuyiseni,
Wow.
who also she now also got her master's.
Wow.
The article is written by a female.
Wow.
So a couple of years ago, I sat on a panel. We spoke about why are beauty norms put out in a certain way, and I said, stop this thing of acting as if media is a spectrum. It's for people that work in there. The people that work in there are women.
Yeah.
Right? So often we say, okay, how do we change the narrative? We must change.
Yeah.
We are the problem.
Yeah.
So if we're going to carry each other and I must be able to say, women put me where I am today, or women supported me to where I am today, I need to say it without the buts. Because I have buts. Right?
To hold ourselves accountable.
Absolutely. I have, yeah, but that other day she then said this. Now that kills the whole thing.
Yeah.
I actually recall a story. So I was saying my ex-boyfriend, they had a bride. I had a birthday party for him. The next day they said there's going to be a bride at his house. So I listen, I'm being told there's a bride.
Yeah.
So I'm a guest in my world.
Wow.
Okay? I arrived there as a guest, 12. I arrived looking nice. I sit down. Kutiwa, indoda yako izodlani.
Oh, sorry. No.
I was like, Annie Brai. I was so confused because I came there as a guest. And mind you, do not dare bring up how my mother raised me, because this situation here has nothing to do with how I was raised. It's got everything to do with you. My boyfriend at that point didn't care.
Yeah.
Because he was like, no, but we're Brian. Nicole is coming here as a guest.
Yeah.
But it's the woman sitting in the kitchen saying, why am I mean,
And for me, what you're saying is very important to me. I'm raising boys. So I'm changing the narrative in my household.
Amazing.
Where the kitchen is not Gloria's kitchen.
Amazing.
So that me and my husband work together in that kitchen.
Amazing.
So my kids don't have to specify as mommy cooks or
Yeah.
this is daddy goes to work.
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy go to work.
Yeah.
Mommy and dad can cook together.
Yes.
So the narrative has to change. I have to change. I always say I have a bigger role because I'm raising men. So I have to change the whole concept completely. I have to say to these boys, pink is not for girls.
Yeah.
Pink is for everyone. You know? So changing the narrative for me is very important because I am raising boys.
And I like that point, because that point, sorry, Leanne, that point speaks to the people that enable us to care. It is the people that are helping change the narrative. Everybody else, whether you're male or female, if you are not part of this cohort that wants to change the narrative, stay behind me, because where I'm going, you are not welcome.
Absolutely.
And I think what you both of you touched on, I think it's so important as a society to work together. You know,
Absolutely.
often I've questioned even though I understand the reasoning behind it, the take a girl to work, I get it. I get why, because there's such a huge inequality. But I also feel like at the same time, some men are being left behind.
Absolutely.
And we are expecting these girls that are educated, that are ambitious, that are that are being pushed and exposed to all these things, to hopefully one day marry the very boys that we are leaving behind.
How is
Absolutely.
So I feel like there needs to be a balance. And the teaching needs to happen not just in women caucuses, but it should be an open conversation that includes men. And you know, when we are parents, we parent in such a way that we are teaching, but also outside the home. We're not just focused, because I guarantee you, that woman that's been exposed to all this training and whatnot, and the man that's been left behind, one day when they meet like this, it's not going to match.
Absolutely.
It's not going to match.
And I always say I'm raising 2 girls. And when people always ask me about what it's like raising girls and gender-based violence, and then it comes down to gender-based violence, and I always say that's where the parents who are raising boys come into play, because I'm raising these strong, independent, educated girls who are go-getters, and then when they meet these boys, the boys don't know what to do. These women are too strong, and then what? And the boys are also dealing with their own traumas. So it's so important that we pay attention to the boy child too, because they are being left behind.
I want to fight you guys.
Honestly, I want to fight you. We need to strike a balance. We need to strike a balance.
And I agree.
As she's saying, she's raising strong women that are confident in who they are. I also have to say, these boys must be soft. I have to come and say, boys cry. Do you understand? So, but there has to be some form of balance when we bring both parties on the table. Where there's no generals, if we can eradicate generals in society, I think we would have done the greatest deal for ourselves.
See, now you are spot on. I think, and let's take away the issue of boys and girls, put racism on the table. It's difficult to deal with racism when there is a party that structurally benefits from it. They're not, yes, they may be agreeable to saying, no, we don't see color, with whatever. Structures create and perpetuate racism. It's the same thing with gender. What absolutely, we do need to teach the boy child. We need to take the boy child on the road as the girl is going. We need both of them to be independent, both of them to understand. But we also need to break down structures.
That I agree
Because
with.
for me, we can teach the boy child, but if the boy child at all times, simply by being a boy, wins, that's where we've got a problem. So the thing is, we are landing the education. It needs to land on the areas which we need to. Guys, I cannot. My father, in as much as he speaks, my father has 4 daughters. Then he went to made a son somewhere, right? But he has his nuclear family. You're right. It's 4 girls, right? 5 with my mom.
Yeah.
So I would like to think my father at some point is a feminist because there's no way you've lived with so many of us and but structurally, when push comes to shove, we're monarch he's not. Because my father, when he brought his son, let me tell you what this man said to us. My goodness. He said, make food for your brother because he does not know how to use the stove.
Wow.
I was like,
No.
I don't want to raise such boys.
what the hell? So for me, it's the structure that we need to break. The structure must be broken down to pieces. And that's why it goes back again to we must all be on the same page to work towards this narrative. Because we can't expect men to jump. Because men get confused all sometimes. They're like, because when we do this, then there's some of you guys who do this. So we need all women, first and foremost, to get onto the page. Okay? Us fighting for equality is not for me, it's not for Gloria, it's not for Leanne, it's not for Sonto. It's for everybody, it's for your daughters, it's for your sons. In fact, they will live in a better society where all people are seen as equal. So for me, let's get everybody on this. Jumping. Generations. You know, that's for me.
Love that. Now, I think to wrap up, what would be your closing remarks to anybody that's watching who really is struggling either mentally or emotionally just to get their life going? It's like challenge after challenge, or maybe not motivated, I don't know, but someone is in a struggle. What would be your closing remarks?
I think for me, I would just encourage any woman, girl, man or boy listening right now that storms don't last forever. And often when we're in that low place, we feel like we're never going to get out of here. But we need to remind ourselves that storms don't last forever. And when you're growing, it's painful. It's in an uncomfortable place. It hurts. But that's where you're really evolving. So look at where you are now as your growth phase, and learn how to pull yourself up, pull yourself out of it, and keep moving. And eventually things will change. Yeah.
Sure. I think for me, I would say, somebody said a very good example. They said, if Sonto after this would say to me, Nicolette, how did that go? I didn't feel really confident. I'm not really sure what I did. My response would be, no, you did really well. Oh my goodness. But we don't give ourselves that. I don't stand in the mirror when I get to my house and say, Nicolette, you did okay. And I think that's important. Life is not perfect. Let's just put that away. And if you really want to know that life is not perfect, get off social media. I think too many of us are living on social media. We're living on digital streets. We're seeing perfect lives. And mind you, yes, Gloria may have that perfect life, but it doesn't mean that every other next person's life is going to look like that. Yes.
I am not showing the
Absolutely.
I am not showing where my kid is sick all night. I'm showing the beauty of my life. But there's times where we struggle.
Exactly.
We don't show our struggle.
We show what we want people to see. Beautiful,
The
perfect
beauty.
picture. But when I'm sitting in my bathroom crying because I've had a hard day, I don't post
my tears.
So,
And in society, to be quite honest, doesn't accept that.
No.
I mean, how many people have posted themselves crying and have to take it off because people are like, ooh, show off. Break it down when you're always depressed. So I think it's important to choose yourself. I think in everything
You
in
just
life.
pointed out something very important as well. It's so how we play down mental illnesses, for instance. No, hey, we are depressed. That's not something. It's not.
But also depressed.
It's not something to joke around about. You know, people are going through the most. The pandemic has shown us that people are going through the most, especially mental-wise. People are struggling at this present moment, and I always say, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace.
So important.
You know, and I'm saying this in a sense of life is not perfect. We've seen how things have turned out with this COVID. So just give yourself grace. Take your time. Take a breather, guys. I'm an advocate of taking a breather, guys. Take a breather. relax.
It's gonna be
Take
okay.
your time. Take your time, and everything eventually falls into place.
My last parting shot
Yeah.
always Sondo is when you're on social media
Yes.
and Sondo because she's in her hardest moment and she's giving you pressure and follow through.
Yeah.
There's nothing
If you
wrong.
feel like you're pressurized.
Yeah.
If you're feeling pressurized, unfollow the people that pressurize you.
Yeah.
There's no fight between you.
Yeah.
You're just taking
Yeah.
care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Choose self at all times. Toxic
Absolutely.
relationship, choose self. But today, I broke up with my partner on Monday.
Oh.
Today I sent him a message. I said, I am so sorry how the whole thing played out. What I'm not sorry about is my emotion at that time. Because what you did at that moment did really make me absolutely angry. Could I have acted better? Probably. But you know what? I'm choosing Nicolette.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, and I want you to know this. And I think people are afraid of doing that. People are afraid of choosing themselves. People are afraid of putting themselves first. Put yourself first,
Yeah.
even in a job. Put yourself
Yeah.
first.
Even
Don't
with
let
your kids, I
everybody, husband,
Yeah.
everybody must know you advocate first for self, and when self is well,
Yeah.
you can even smile with everyone when you're fine.
Absolutely.
Sorry to cut you off, please. You mentioned something about people seasons where somebody is
Yes.
But I believe that if I see Nicolette going up the ladder, it means I'm capable too as a woman.
Yeah.
I shouldn't see your moment as something that's draining me
Yeah.
or pulling me down. I should see it as a moment of if a black woman is doing
Celebration.
it.
Yeah.
But
I
even
can
if pressure, Gloria, I'm unfollowing you.
Listen.
Remember, I think it's what Leanne said. It's internal.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You, I celebrate, and just because I'm unfollowing you doesn't mean I don't celebrate.
Exactly.
It's me knowing maybe I don't have the EQ
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
point to be
Yeah.
able to even say, and those people, don't force a congratulations to someone
Yeah.
when you don't mean it.
No, it's
The other day I saw a girl on Twitter say, if I like Leanne's picture or comment and she doesn't respond to my comment within 30 minutes, I'm deleting it. And I was like, why is Fagali pressure to comment?
I think
I know.
we really need to really move away from the space of where social media is so consuming our heads and
Yeah.
everything is around that. Now we feel validated because
Yeah.
someone commented on
Yeah.
my picture or
Yeah.
they replied
Yeah.
to the comment.
shouldn't
whatever.
matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't matter.
This space where we're creating, it should be a space where we're teaching each other,
Yes.
learning from each
Yeah,
other.
absolutely.
It shouldn't be a space where there's hate, there's
Yeah.
envy, there's, oh my goodness, they just bought a car today. Why can't I buy a car? But it should be a place where I say to myself, oh, God is working on her. Then it's my turn too.
But
And I think that's ideal, yes, and it's ideal.
To get to that point.
Maturity.
But I understand what you're saying as well, Nicolette. When you can feel those energy drainers, like, oh, okay, I need to move away from this person for your own sanity and mental health. And you can be a better person and friend and colleague and liker and follower after that.
Yeah. And in fact, after I unfollow you, it gives me I have moments with myself. That meeting you talk about, and I'm like, Kate, what's your problem? You see, yes, you gotta tell you like to say, okay, what's the problem?
What's
here?
the problem
And
here?
that is exactly where the growth happens. It's when you check yourself and you're like, man, you're being
Yeah,
snacks now.
yeah.
But it's better let me snacks when I don't see you. You're
Yeah,
better than
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we never gonna end.
Sorry, Santa.
But you know, we have so much. I feel like we've talked about so many things that are so important. And I hope to you listening in from home that you've gained something. I hope you feel motivated. If you're feeling tired, relax. Take your time. It's gonna come. Just keep going, one day at a time. I hope you feel inspired. This really was just to showcase that women can, and we're sitting around the table with women who actually have done it, and you can do it too. And if you're a guy also watching, you can do it too. And I love the element that you brought in, that we don't have to be mean and be horrible. And you can still make it without being a monster.
Yeah.
You know, choose to be soft, choose to be happy, choose to be kind.
Absolutely.
Kind.
You know, and it will still work out. You don't need to backstab somebody else. You know, we are in a space where I think for me, particularly my business, you know, there are many competitors. You know, often when I go to interviews, people will ask me, "Who are your competitors?"
It's
And,
me.
and then I honestly have to go, genuinely, I'm not having a big head,
Focus on me.
not even paying attention.
Yeah.
I can't tell
We
you.
need to get women to stop
Yes.
saying that, what you just said now.
But
Not having a big head. You don't even need to give us a disclaimer.
Don't give us a disclaimer.
Actually,
Absolutely.
I am the best.
it
is what it is.
That's what it is. I like that. I really like that.
Women like to
If we're
disclaim
building-
anything.
If we're building women that are very confident in who they are, you must go out there and say, I'm the best. I am the best, what I do, and that's about it. If they ask you who's your competitor, myself, because I know that I'm the best.
Non-top sales of last month are my competitor. Because I know what I'm working towards. Yeah, definitely.
And we now need to see that woman that we see as being full of herself as a compliment, because it didn't happen overnight.
No,
It took
absolutely.
struggle, blood, sweat, tears for you to get to that
Sacrifice.
point, for you to believe in yourself. Now you celebrate it. We're all walking around with empty cups, insecure, beating on other women when you're full of yourself. That is one of the biggest things that I strive to do right now. I tell women, be full of yourself, celebrate yourself, because that's where we actually need to be. Because I can't
that
pour from it.
perspective.
I'm pouring from an empty cup, and here you are full. That's what I want. That's what I need. That's what we need to see.
Love that
Full of
perspective.
yourself.
There's one video, she says, you know, today, girl, that's what I say to myself all the time. And it's a true narrative. Because if she wakes up and says to herself, nothing can shake me.
Yeah.
I am who I am, and I stand firm and tall into this person. I am going to go for it.
Yeah.
So be confident.
Yeah.
Say to yourself, I am who I am. And I'm very confident in my being and who I am and how I look and how I dress. That's who I am. And that I'm confident in my space.
Leila, there are women who have less than you.
Yeah.
Who are confident. They've got nothing to back it up. Mara, they walk like this. My sister, you've got so much to back it up with. You better be confident. Stop with the disclaimers. Stop being apologetic. We are pushing here.
And with that, it's a wrap. Thank you, guys.
That was awesome.
I really enjoyed that. The fact that it was my first time, I really enjoyed that.
You were amazing. Yeah, a natural.
How are you guys speaking before the director calls?